I have a book. I think it's called 101 Essays, and it's by an author called Brianna Wiest or Weist. It's Weist.
No,
She's
W-I, W-I-E-S-I,
Wiest. She's amazing.
W-I-E-S-T. Yep.
She's written several different books, but this essay one is probably one of my favorites because it has a whole bunch of short little quotes in there, and it just gets you to thinking. So I want to tell you one that I read the other day because I thought, oh, this is really good. So in there, she says, if your life is made up of days, what are you doing with this one? And I read that and I sort of thought, that is, I mean, I've heard that, right? Like your life is made up of days, which makes up weeks, which makes up months, which makes up years, and there you go. And it's like at the granular level, though, if you think about your days, how many of us just kind of get up and live that day however it unfolds in front of us, whatever takes place in front of us. I'm not saying that's bad. This is not a judgment thing. Um, and how many of us actually decide that we're going to have some intention with that particular day. We want to focus on, I don't know, kindness or love or appreciation or going for a goal or whatever that looks like. And this, I guess, became particularly heightened for me, this quote, because I was recently on vacation. And of course, when you're on vacation, your days are naturally way more heightened, especially the kind of vacation I had, which was, it was tours and you're in a different country, so like everything is brand new, everything is different, culturally everything is different. And I've come back from that, and I am back into my normal routine, whatever that is. And I read this quote because we were doing some recording today, and I thought, wow, this is just so interesting. Like, what are we doing with our days? So I want to hand it over to you, gals, and hear what your take is on that quote. If your
What we are
life is
doing with
made up
it,
of days, yeah, if your life is, yeah, it's like, do you
not
kind
what we
of,
think we're doing with it, what we're actually doing with it.
well, yeah, there's that.
Because you know what I mean? You think on a day to day, it's like, oh, I did this. And then when you really look at it, are you doing what you really think you're doing?
Well, there's that, but there's also, do you even think that far ahead to go, this is what I want to do today? And do we bother reflection? Is there any reflection to say, wow, what was today like? How did it actually go for me today?
It's so funny you asked us this question because this is one of the things I'm concentrating on in 2025.
Mm.
Mm.
So how are you working this in, if you don't mind us asking,
It's
how do
still
you,
working. It's a roller coaster of things.
yeah.
So it is, I actually, to be very honest, I kind of broke it. I was finding I was becoming all consuming, like on the company that I'm working for, that I was
Mhm.
using it for an excuse, that I was allowing things to fall in my business because, oh, I had too much to do for the company. Or then I was like, oh, I'm too overwhelmed over here, so I'm not going to work out. Oh, I don't have time for this, so I'm not going to eat right.
Can
Like
we add that you
I
had
was,
major surgery too?
oh well, I did have major surgery, and that was another reason too, because for those if you're first time watching us, I had a double mastectomy, risk reducing without reconstruction surgery. So I am completely flat chested. And so that's a whole nother way of looking at myself also, you know? And um So I decided that the most, I'm a pyramid. The most important thing up here is me. That's my first concentration of the day. The second concentration that's most important to me. And when I talk about me here, it's me, my partner, and my Miss Mona, and that aspect of it.
Okay.
The next pyramid, leg in my pyramid or side, whatever it is my business. And last is the paying job that, well, they're both paying, but the job, the company that I work for. And that's literally how I break my day out. That's literally how I break my day out every day. So in the morning, I'm up, I think about what's going on that day. Now, there are sometimes my job comes in and takes up. Like I just got literally yesterday got off the road from landing in Nashville, Tennessee, and driving and seeing customers up all through Tennessee, all through Georgia, and then driving all the way down to Florida. That's time consuming. That was consuming, that was job consuming. So there are days that it does take over, or something else takes over. But my day, I think about my intention is what does Michelle need for her healing of her body, her mindset, what's going on with my relationship, what's going on with my doggy. And then I flow into what needs to be done within my business. Who do I have to respond to? What do I have to do here and this and that? Okay. And then I flow into my job. Like there's this flow that I go in and out. And I actually use, please don't copy this. This is what works for me. I'm going to go to another page here. What helps me is I have this is a 1 day planner, but it's got 4 columns. So it's here, I'll write out personal, I'll write out Michelle Wellness, I'll write out my company that I work for, and then this is all follow up. And then I just write notes, what's going on, what's this. And then at the end of the day, I really just like, how was that? What did you do? Where was the mindset? Where was this? And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not hard and it's not a lot. And it's just helping me uncover and rediscover and assess more things.
That's amazing.
It sounds good.
It's hard. I'm not going to lie. It is hard.
I've mentioned this before. I found that because we do these recordings, and then because I listen to them when we edit them, just because I enjoy them so much, that it's front of mind for me. So I can't remember how long we've been doing this, but so for that length of time, this has been front of mind. And then maybe because this has been front of mind, I've implemented it way more into my business, where before everything was to do with the practical technical part and
Mm-hmm.
none of the mindset. And that is where I focus very heavy now, where I didn't even realize, but I've just morphed into that. So by morphing into that, even though what I do is more practical and that still brings up this mindset. So because I'm talking about this stuff now, I'm not a coach, nothing, I'm not like life coach or anything, but just that you need certain things to break through in your business, it winds up um, reflecting back on me. So I'm looking at that stuff too, just because I'm talking more about it. So I do feel that during my days, I look for intention. Every
Mm-hmm.
day, no, I'm not consistent, but I'm thinking of it and I'm making allowing myself to make sure I try to incorporate it because it's top of mind. And I think for me, that's the first thing, is that it's actually top of mind for me. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think it really is important. And it might be an age thing too, where I go, hey, every day, but I don't know if I would have been had I not been doing this. Like
Yeah,
just
I
going
don't.
through
Yeah. The
Yeah,
my
motions, right?
day.
The days. Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think it really helps if you can have well, certainly for me, it really helps to have a practice, something that you are doing uh, fairly consistently, so that it does bring you back to that, that mindset, back to that. Oh, yes, I do want to think about what it is that I want to do for the day. And I want to figure out, how best that's going to look. And then to reflect at the end of the day, more so for me on gratitude than really,
Mhm.
um, like, is the to-do list checked off kind of thing. It's really more about just, some moments that were great and yeah.
I want to stop you for 1 second there.
Mhm.
That's what made me realize I needed to change. I had the to-do list that would cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, and then still be like, I never felt like I was still following the right things. I was spending too much time on the wrong things.
Mm,
They were things that had to be done,
mhm.
but they were not where my focus should have been. I was consuming in tasks and not consuming in the right, like you were saying, Tracy G, the mindset, the just, being present, doing what was meaningful. And it was becoming more like, okay, cross that off. What's the next thing going?
Mhm.
Instead of, hey, you just finished a great presentation for somebody. Just take a minute and like,
Yes.
Mhm.
I did really good with that. Is there anything I wanted to learn from that? What went really well? What
Yeah.
didn't go well? What did I learn? Did I get uncomfortable? Like, did I get uncomfortable? Was that hard? And so when we do that, then you go on to the next task or next thing you have to do, and you can call it whatever you wish to call it. You go into that one even more intention because you're starting now to refocus on things, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. So good. Yeah.
Yeah. I like this question. And I think it's a question that we should, and I literally was writing out before we started recording today. I was, because I have to during the day call customers. And I was writing out like who was next in my things. And at the bottom of each one of my little sheet I showed you is what is my purpose and my intention today? That's what I wrote for me to answer when I sit down or at the end of the day, what's your purpose for the next day or your intention? Or,
Mhm.
you brought up the thing, kindness. Well, yeah, that's an awesome um, intention to have for the day, especially if you're interacting with people or in an office. But is your intention to be kind to yourself? Is your intent like we don't take time to, and then poof. I mean, we're recording this on the last day of February. Do you believe we're already in 2 months into
I know. I
2025?
know. I know. It's crazy. Yes.
So time is just time is what you make it. That's what it is. Time is what you make it. So taking 5 minutes for yourself to have that conversation. And like you were saying, Tracy, I know we were talking off camera beforehand about your trip, how you were more intentional because it was a guided tour and you knew exactly what you were doing for the day and that whole thing.
Mhm.
And I was thinking about this, like you can plan out your whole day. And I used to be like that. I used to plan very, what's that, male energy, very task orientated. And I would just cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off, cross, cross. And I was a mess, an utter mess, because I just stayed busy.
Mhm.
You
Nope.
can even take little mini intentions in the day.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
know,
Mhm.
like, I have a senior dog, and so this dog likes to go outside and wait and bring him back in. And in the morning, in the early morning, I'd be like, come on, I just got, I got stuff to do. And now I just sit there and I look and I hear the birds. And I look at the sky, whether it's raining or something like that. And at nighttime, I'm really appreciating the stars. And it's just these little mini intentions to,
Yep.
like, he's getting older. Something's going to happen soon. And just to
Yep.
appreciate where I am in this moment in time on this day. And so even if you don't have full day intentions, you can just grab these little
Mhm.
mini intentions and appreciate them.
Oh, I love that, Tracy G. Thanks for reminding
Appreciate them.
us of
Yeah.
that. Yes, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah. And I do, I love the way you said that with your dog, because at night, right before we go to bed, I take Miss Mona out, and it's usually in my pajamas, and I walk out in
Yeah.
my driveway, and I look up, and sometimes it was the most beautiful stars are up there. And she's peeing away, and I'm
Yeah.
looking at stars in my PJs.
Mhm.
And then I'll be like, "Get inside, someone's coming." By the way, guys, I live in Florida. I'm not in the snow where they are.
God. Well, I don't think you're in the snow, are you, Tracy? There's no
No,
snow on, no,
Uh,
no.
no,
Just me.
no. You
okay,
got
Just
you
sorry.
got the
yeah, just the
remote.
Ontario gal gets like, 12
Yeah,
feet of it. Like it's just insane here.
no. So, what do you think, viewer, of intentions? Is it something you've ever thought about? Is it something you do? Do you need more help on it? Do you have questions about it? Put it in the comments. Share this with somebody that you think this might help. If this episode resonated with you, please hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit notifications so you know when our next episode is. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.